We're told the modern gig economy is the ultimate system of flexibility. You download an app, log on whenever you want, and instantly become your own boss. No office, no manager, just pure independence. But consider what an independent contractor actually is. Take a plumber. When you call them to fix a leaky faucet, you don't tell them which wrench to use or how much to charge. They provide their own tools, dictate their own methods, and set their own price. Contrast that with a traditional corporate employee, like a DHL delivery driver. The parent company tells that driver exactly what cargo to carry, what neighborhood to service, and the precise route to take to drop off every single package. The dividing line in labor law comes down to a simple question: who is in control? If someone else dictates your workflow, your tools, and your schedule, they are your legal employer. This brings us to the modern app-based worker. Tech platforms insist that people driving the cars and delivering the food are not employees. They call them partners, arguing the app is merely a digital bridge connecting a customer to an independent provider. The reality looks very different. The app acts as a highly demanding manager. It uses GPS to dictate the exact route you take, algorithmically enforces your delivery pace, and sets the strict rate of compensation you will receive. The money trail tells the exact same story. A consumer's payment goes straight into the platform's central bank account first. The company then decides what fraction of that fare gets dispensed down to the worker. By simply renaming employees as partners and the employers themselves as aggregators, these tech platforms effectively bypassed decades of hard-won labor laws. With a change in vocabulary, the right to a minimum wage, sick leave, and basic social security simply vanished. The gig economy relied on the Hoodlin playbook, a calculated corporate strategy designed to smash into heavily regulated industries, break the rules to cause maximum disruption, and only negotiate a compromise after taking over the market. Early Silicon Valley executives, like Uber co-founder Travis Kalanick, openly relied on this method. They weaponized a mask of technology, insisting they were merely software vendors rather than standard taxi or delivery services to evade existing regulations. Once these companies captured a dominant share of the market, the strategy evolved into high-level political lobbying. They successfully pressured governments to insert their own self-invented definitions into national legislation, like India's 2020 Social Security Code, officially creating a distinct lesser class of gig workers. This established a pervasive definition trap. By writing this artificial category into national law, platforms preempted their workforce from ever claiming the traditional legal protections they are actually owed. Under this system, human HR departments are replaced entirely by a digital boss. Workers are forced to accept completely unconscionable, one-sided contracts. You receive a screen on a handheld device, click Agree, and the terms disappear. The grievance process is even worse. If an order goes wrong, workers are forced to argue their case to an automated chatbot. If they ask too many questions in a WhatsApp group or attempt to organize a union, they face sudden, invisible ID blocks, effectively getting fired by an algorithm without any human review. Because compensation is entirely piece rate, paid only for the tasks completed rather than the hours worked, the physical toll is severe. Individuals are pushed into working 15 to 16-hour continuous shifts, often through extreme heat waves and severe pollution, just to scrape together a baseline livable income. The immense convenience we enjoy as consumers and the multi-billion-dollar valuations these platforms hold don't appear out of thin air. They are subsidized by shifting the entire physical risk and the cost of a basic safety net squarely onto the shoulders of unprotected people. But the workforce is pushing back. Across the globe, organized labor is securing major legal victories. Groups like the New York Taxi Workers Alliance have forced cities to establish minimum wage formulas, and courts in multiple countries are finally ruling that these platforms are legally employers. We are also seeing a new blueprint for legislative assistance, starting with the Rajasthan Gig Workers Act in India. This law acts as a legislative counterhack. It deliberately refuses to engage with the aggregator's favorite debate over whether someone is a partner or an employee. Instead of falling into that definitional trap, the law takes a direct route. It simply dictates that if a commercial digital transaction occurs in this sector, labor rights automatically apply. By completely ignoring the job title, the law neutralizes the aggregator's primary legal weapon. It corners the tech companies, forcing them to finally comply with baseline social safety standards. To fund these standards, the law relies on a welfare cess. This is a microscopic fee automatically deducted from every single digital transaction on the platform, whether you're ordering a taxi or a meal delivery. These micro-deductions bypass corporate charity entirely. Instead, they flow directly into an independent, state-managed Social Security fund dedicated to the workers. The state is now turning the aggregator's own digital infrastructure against them. The exact same tracking and monitoring systems built to squeeze efficiency out of workers are being used to automatically register those same workers for social benefits. The structure of the gig economy is not a fixed technological destiny. By recognizing the legal illusions these platforms rely on and rewriting the rules of the code, society can ensure that human labor is actually protected in the digital age.